Listen, bro. Listen, I don't know how to communicate this that much. Being fat fundamentally isn't really the criticism as much as it is the association with being lazy more than anything else. There was a time where people would associate like obesity with like privilege, and so you were looked at like in a positive sense, almost maybe almost in a resentful sense. I don't know, but yeah, man. Now we live in a time where food is more accessible to people, especially unhealthy food, and people are eating to cope in a lot of ways, and that's partly like it's me. I mean, I have an unhealthy relationship with food. The thing is like there absolutely is a lot of fat phobia, and it's specifically and especially rather directed towards women because there are very high beauty standards for women. And like, you know, as a fat guy, like the King of Queens is a great example of what I'm about to say. You know, it's a show with like an attractive wife with a fat guy. You know what I'm saying? Fat men are generally more accepted, and that's why you see more men. Fat men, you know, they're usually in the defensible positions of like, oh, this is preposterous, and it is preposterous. Because part of it, though, I don't have an emotional connection to this as much because I've never really been bullied for my weight in the same way that women are. You know, that being said, you know, obviously, I think that fat people should be accepted. Like, we really should stop just commenting on people's weights for no reason. Do it in private, be my guest, but in public, I mean, shut the fuck up. Unless somebody's pushing like a toxic kind of toxic body positivity aspect. Like, if they're like, oh, it's healthy. You can be fat and healthy, but it is incredibly difficult, right? You need to like eat perfectly. You know, you're consuming a lot of food. Your body cannot handle all the salt and the preservatives and like the horrible things. It's very difficult. Generally speaking, being like thinner means you're going to be healthier. Obviously, there's also such thing as too thin, but we have an obesity epidemic in the United States. That being said, right off the bat with the fat phobia is racist, no, it's not. It is very difficult to change your weight, 100%, but it's something that you can change. You can't change your skin color. It's kind of the reality of the world. Again, I understand that there's an eating habit there. There's a level of addiction to food. Like, for real, they did a study that suggested that sugar was as addictive as like hard drugs. But to bring it to a racial point, I think is diminishing for the experiences of like people of color. And it's a way to just like say like, I'm oppressed, you know? It's like, okay. But also stop, you know? Stop. Go outside. Walk a half an hour a day. For sure. You know? For sure. Okay. Anyway, let's get this going.
Fat phobia is learned. Fat phobia is taught. It's not innate.
Yeah, it's a social construct. We already went over the social construct. Like, it's taught because of the associations with obesity.
You want to know how fat phobia really came about?
Sure.
It's because when immigrants started coming over from different areas of the world, they tended to be stockier or maybe shorter, just having more plump body types.
I just disagree. I just doubt that. I just like that. There's no way that's true. I mean, that is just so bizarre. This is just a bizarre claim. This is an insane fucking claim that you're making. There's just no way. Immigrants are coming over. So they're telling me that there are a lot of immigrants coming over and they were like fat. I understand people have different body types, but there's a difference between being like stockier and being fat. Okay? Like, shut the fuck up. Okay? Because you're telling me that people left their home country to come to America and they were already like fat? Like, if you were fat back in the day, you had a lot of money. You had enough to eat. People probably didn't have any food to eat. They're probably frail people. There's no way. Yeah, they're coming over back then due to famine. It's insane.
And the white people in America did not like that.
But all those people who came over are now considered white. Where did you get your source? Where's your source, bro? Source is Twitter.
And so whiteness became synonymous with thinness, vice versa, and thus began just rancid fat phobia. People wanted to be thin.
I'm becoming more fat phobic now.
So they didn't look like the immigrants because they were fucking racist.
Just stop. Even if that was true, which is not. It's not. These things change. They're associated with like laziness and unhealthiness. And there's also an aspect of women absorbing more of it because of it, toxic beauty standards placed on women specifically. That's where it comes from now. Like, it wasn't socialized because we didn't like other white people. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not black people that were coming over. We forced them to come over way before that. You got like fucking Italian people coming over on Ellis Island. Okay, they are now white. Italian people, Irish people. These are the people you're referring to. They are now white. So this is not where it came from. And even if it did, which it didn't, that's gone. It's now the association to like being lazy. That's where it comes from.
Now, this may be a little bit of an oversimplification.
It is. It's not. It's just not true. It's a lie.
But if you want more in-depth detail that can't be fit into a TikTok video, go read Sabrina String's book, Fearing the Black Body.
No, no, I'm not going to do that. I understand that like black women specifically tend to have like a thicker body, I guess you would say. For sure. Understand that. Right? And like maybe there was an aspect of black people not adhering to, well, there absolutely is, a Western beauty standards. But bro, not just like it really is not that deep. It is not. Nobody thinks of like it. We can answer the question, and I have twice. Oh, why do people not like fat bodies? Because they think that it's lazy. That is really the association. Like, you know, I think it works in like the reverse way, where fat people, or rather black people, tend to have thicker bodies, and so like they experience more fat phobia because of like maybe the placement of the fat. I guess that's probably true. But bro,
go read Sabrina String's book, Fearing the Black Body.
Sabrina Strings. Huh? It's interesting. I'm not going to read it. This makes no logical sense, though. I mean, the racial origins of fat phobia. Listen, bro. I mean, listen. I'm sure black people obviously deal with their own issues when it comes to Western beauty standards. 100% agree with that. But like nobody, like this is again, it's synonymous with like being lazy nowadays. I don't know what to tell you. I just don't know what to tell you, bro. Not everybody, even like listen, not everybody with a pen is a good writer. Okay, I'm sure she's really intelligent, but this is one of those things that happens when you get a little too deep in the sauce. There are absolutely issues that black people face, but like, bro, stop. Okay. Shit is crazy, bro. Let me see something.
If you are thin and you post those body positivity photos.
Wait, what happened here? This is another of the same person? No, don't like it.
If you are thin,
okay,
and you post those body positivity photos where you're hunched over and forcing yourself to have rolls, I want you to feel embarrassed.
Why are you crying, bro?
Because that's embarrassing.
Listen, I was going to tear into this girl until okay, she said the girls that are specifically trying to force folds into their body. Body positivity is for anybody that might be uncomfortable with their bodies. Like we said before, women have particular issues that they experience in general. But like, there are so many thin girls that are like hunching over and folding themselves to look bigger than they are, to be like, look at me, I'm fat, because they're just baiting for compliments because they're dumb fucking shallow bitches. So that one's fair. That one's fair.